This is Dan Brown. This is an absolutely beautiful view from the window with an incredible clear sky above us. And this, my friends, is where we are going on a very small adventure. We are in that tiny little block there. That's the marina just on the outskirts of Ellesmere. We're going to come downstream on a very small thing past Blakemere, and just before we get to Colmere, we're going to go up the country lane, take a left turn in, and have a closer look at Newtonmere. Somewhere I've seen from the road, but I've never had a proper nose around it. So let's see, if the proximity to the country lane, I think we could have a hop over a fence maybe somewhere and have a closer look. Right, it should only be a 5-mile round trip, so let's get walking. As I mentioned when we had a brief look out of the window just then, it is an absolutely perfect day for wandering around, whether it is morning, noon or evening, as I'd already done a little walk just earlier in the day before this. And as you can see, when you've got these conditions and these surroundings, it's almost criminal to not go out and enjoy them, especially as winter and autumn are rolling in very quickly. You've got to make the absolute most of any of the guaranteed sunny days and moments like this that you've got. So you can see here we're going up some familiar places for people who may have tuned into my videos over the years, particularly in recent times since I bought Abel's Ark and moved aboard again this year. As you can see, going under the tunnel, just leaving really. I consider the one side of the tunnel is sort of Ellesmere in general, and this side is the countryside. Not as if I'm talking there as if Ellesmere is this great big city or anything like that. If you've seen my video where I go up the church tower in Ellesmere and pan the camera around from the top of the tower, you can see all the trees and just how rural Ellesmere is and how small and beautiful a place it is really. And again, when you've got places like Blakemere here, again, somewhere that I've been lucky enough to moor my boat up and open the curtains on over the years, it's just amazing really. And again, this is the sort of place that you'll find more people will go here to visit and walk and enjoy this sort of incredible scenery, whether it's the canal in this rural sort of snaky way that it slinks through the countryside, or places like the meres that are dotted all over the area, the lakes that are all over the place here. It's somewhere where you might find more people visiting. Oh, just to interrupt myself here, I just want to mention at this point, as we look at this amazing scene on the screen now, none of the video footage has had the colour or anything tampered with. This is literally just how the camera recorded it there on the day at the moment. Going back to what I was saying, that Ellesmere is a more likely and more frequent place that people will go for a wander around and a walk and what have you, because there's so many features there compared to many of the other places that I might take the boat or hang around in general when I'm out and about in the countryside. It's still amazing how few people that great a number is, and depending on what day of the week it is and what time you're around, it's still entirely possible to walk for hours sometimes without seeing another person out and about, apart from maybe the odd boater or farmer or whoever may or may not be going about their daily lives out here. And as we step up onto the country lanes now, I think that what you're going to immediately pick up from the footage we see is that walking down the canal, it's the traditional sort of canal scenery and it's lovely overhanging trees and stuff like that. But as we look at the footage on screen now, with the tarmac instead of the water taking up the central column of the frame, it literally is just an extension of that countryside and rural sort of scenery. And the fact that there's just an untold number of miles of these sorts of narrow, twisty country lanes around the countryside in this area, that many of you who tune into my videos regularly may have seen a great number of examples of that. It's just, in some ways, the canal is that sort of water-based traditional countryside scenery. And then once you get onto a country lane like these, I mean, panning the camera around here, you're going to see a junction with all the little almost tributaries, if you want to talk about it in water terms, that may soon feed into a more main road from these sort of backwaters here that are just trickling in from the really rural areas where you might have 2 or 3 houses down a random lane that has somehow managed to get its own place name despite the fact there's only about 4 people living there. And really, in all seriousness though, you look at places like this and think the fact you could walk for miles and miles through scenery like this, to me it's in many cases as good as walking along the canal, because it's just a different type of rural scenery where you may have higher hedgerows when you're on the roads, for example, and a much narrower channel to go down, especially if you get a big tractor driving down towards you. But as I say, whether it's walking down canal footage and canal footage, you don't walk down the footage, whether it's walking down canal scenery like we've just seen or country lanes like these, it's all good in my book. Okay, so it's not the best of news, as I think we're here, and from what I can see in this field, if I'm correct and the mere is just on the other side of these trees, we've got a good bit of hedgerow and general obstruction in the way. Let's see what we can do though. Okay, so back on the road here, we have once again got another sort of half trodden way into the water. So, well, we'll just try it. Gotta be careful about some of these more spiky sticks here as I step over. Oh, giddy ant. Oh, big step. I just keep coming up from fence to fence. Actually, because we're still a distance away, I'm going to carry on walking around and see if there's just a nice little open bit of this lake. Not sure exactly what I expected when I got to the water here, but it wasn't that the few feet walking to the water's edge is going to take as long as the 2.5 miles out here. Okay then friends, let's try again. We've got a gate here, and this is looking, oh, I think I can see the water itself. Oh, now we're talking. This is what we wanted to see. Right, let's hop over. Wow, my friends. This is absolutely beautiful. It's a lot bigger than I was expecting. I'll say that for a start. I think there's some fishing jetties just over on the far side in that spot and that spot. Maybe a few more that I can't see. And yeah. There's a lot more here than I was expecting. I can't believe that I've just been about 20 seconds walk down the road from finding this gateway here, and instead I was there spending about 10 minutes trying to find a way through. Ah well, once again, it's all part of the fun. This is absolutely beautiful here. I don't know if you can see on the camera, I think you can, but just there's all this sort of, I assume it's the blue-green algae sort of stuff that comes up on Ellesmere Mere sometimes. But yeah, here we are. Oh my goodness me, I nearly slipped. Here we are at Newton Mere. And what a beautiful spot it really is. Absolutely fantastic. How many times have I biked down these roads and past this? And you might be able to see along the road in the background there. Perhaps you can't. But there's cars going by, and that is, let's think, that's the road between Ellesmere and Welshampton that eventually leads to Whitchurch, for anyone who knows the local area. So I've seen this multiple times, and I may have thought that this was Kettlemere, which is just next to Blakemere. But I've got to be honest, I can't say. I'll have to bike down there and have a look at how much I can see from bike level over here. But I've got to be honest, there's nothing jumping out of that I've seen this multiple times, although I know I have been up and down the country lane we've followed multiple times in the past, and certainly up and down the better, more main road over the way there. Oh, what a beautiful place. An absolutely beautiful place. Let's carry on walking around. So all in all, I've got to say that I was very pleased that I took the time out to have a wander down and a proper look at Newton Mere. It's, again, just a beautiful place, and especially on a day like this one, where you had a clear blue sky above, you had the sun low on the horizon, as a lot of these winter and autumn days are, And I think this was an excellent way to start wrapping up my time that I'd been spending in and around the marina in Ellesmere. And really, I just can't believe, as I say, that I haven't been here many times before over the years. I suppose at this point I will wrap things up. We'll have a zoom in across and have a look at some of the far banks here. And I'll say, as always, please do consider subscribing and hitting the notification bell, of course, so that YouTube will actually tell you when I post a video, hopefully. And please do consider checking out my short books if you want to see more of my boat life and all that sort of stuff. As I say, check out my other videos for hundreds of boat life videos, and please do check the links in the description. You'll find my books and all sorts of things like Instagram and Pinterest and Tumblr and Facebook and all sorts, where I post loads of boaty and canal and general countryside pictures. Until the next time though, my friends, have a fantastic day, keep it interesting, keep it boat worthy, and of course, my friends, farewell.